Hello everybody, hope you're having a great day. Well, I'm making cornbread for two. This is some great stuff. We grew up eating it and it's just absolutely delicious. And it's easy to make. Let me show you how. Well, you start with 3/4 cup cornmeal, regular yellow cornmeal. And then you want to add 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. Next is 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And then half a teaspoon of salt. Give that a good stir. Get everything mixed together. And next, I've got 3/4 of a cup of milk, and to that I'm going to add 1 egg. And then I'm also going to add 2 tablespoons of oil. And you want to give that a good stir. Beat that egg a little, get it broken up. And then you just pour that into your dry ingredients, just like that. Cornbread is so simple. Now all you have to do is fold it all together. Oh, and if you like your cornbread sweet, this is a good time to add sugar. A couple of tablespoons would be about right, or even some honey. There's nothing wrong with sweet cornbread. Both are good, and I like both. But it just depends on what I'm going to be eating with the cornbread. That's how I decide whether to make my cornbread sweet or not. And this particular batch or pan of cornbread I'm going to be using with beans. I'm having beans and cornbread, and so I don't really want my cornbread sweet. And in fact, we never had sweet cornbread growing up. I didn't have that until I had cornbread at school. And I was surprised it was so nice and sweet, it was almost like dessert. But both ways are good. Anyway, once you get that all together, you bring it over to the stove top and get your heat going. I'm going to be cooking it in this small cast iron pan. And to that pan, we're going to add a couple of tablespoons of butter. And we're going to let that melt and let the pan heat up. And once it gets nice and hot and bubbly, we're going to add the cornbread mixture. Just scrape it in, and you put it in like that and spread it out. And of course you want to have your oven preheated to 425 degrees, and we're going to bake this for between 16 and 20 minutes. I think this stayed in right at 17 minutes. And then it's ready, just like that. I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the pan because I don't want the bottom to cook any further. It's just the way I like it. So it's still nice and hot. I'm going to flip it over and put some butter on it. Oh yeah, while it's nice and hot, give it a good spread of butter. Just like that. And then I'm going to cover it because I want to let it cool off covered. That helps keep it moist. It's a little secret. There we have it, a nice pan of cornbread. Just about the right amount for 2 people to enjoy a couple of generous servings. What do you think? If you've never made cornbread, I want to encourage you to make it. Look at that. Oh, that's great. Take a look underneath. The bottom's just right. It's nice and tender and still moist. I don't really like dry cornbread, and it can get dry. But in this case, it doesn't really matter because of the way I'm going to eat it. I'm going to have it with beans. And I want to show you how I like to eat mine. I take the cornbread and then just crumble it all into the beans like this. Mix it up and let that bean juice and everything just absorb at that cornbread. And oh, you talk about good. Outstanding. And then I also want to add a splash or 2 of hot sauce, just like that, exactly the way I like it. Oh man, this is good eating. Let me give it a taste. Yeah. Well, that's homemade cornbread. It's not hard to make, and if you've never tried it, give it a try. I'm sure you can be successful. You don't have to cook it in a cast iron pan. Whatever you happen to have, you can use it, even a cake pan. Hey, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye now.